Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nerd Ledger. I'm Cage, and that is Chair, and he is eating a
Sure.
taco. So how is your taco? Is it from Taco Bell?
No, it's a homemade white person taco,
All right.
ground beef with taco seasoning mixed in, fried tortilla. We fry ourselves.
Yep.
We don't bring pre-made. We fry ourselves at least. So that's good.
Mhm. Mhm. Nice. Nice.
Got some cheese on mine and some hot sauce.
Sounds fucking wicked.
Yep.
Yeah. Well. How's it going, pal? How's it going?
I've been better, but
Yeah.
we got to keep trucking along.
Yeah, that's true. It's been a day for both of us probably. Not to mention, I go to a new gym now because I moved. And at this gym, there's like a couple that goes there that are like pretty
Mhm.
much fucking in the gym every day. Like, why are you at the gym doing this shit? Like, they are like
Damn.
touching all over each other, making out between sets. I'm just like, yo, you're at a fucking public Planet Fitness, and I get it. You're at Planet Fitness. What do you expect? But still, there
Isn't
are.
that like a shuttle arm or something you can ring at Planet Fitness or something like that? Isn't that what that whole system is for?
Well, it's for people that are like, really like on steroids and shit, and like
No.
Chads. This guy is like a skinny fucking dweeb. Like, what am I supposed to do? Hit the fucking lunk alarm for that guy? Most of them probably don't even work. But no, yeah, that shit's real uncomfortable. But there's a lot of things on in my life right now that are pretty uncomfortable. So that's just the least of it. I also, you and I used to work together.
Yeah.
And where we worked, there were some geese, but there weren't a whole bunch of geese, right?
There's more geese over at the harbor now than there used to be.
Yeah. Well, at the marina I work at on the weekends now, there's a whole lot of fucking geese, like a whole bunch. And of course, you got fucking people out there feeding cats and shit. That obviously then the geese go eat the food. It's nesting season, they're laying, their babies are hatching and stuff. And there's a goose on one of the docks that I work at, and he's a pretty notorious goose. His name is Grumpy. That motherfucker attacked me, and not like in a normal way. Like most geese, like you're walking the docks, they hiss at you or whatever. You kind of like look at them because you're not gonna get bitched by a goose, right? And then they kind of like waddle away or jump off the docks. Well, not fucking Grumpy. He does not do that shit. He was standing in the middle of the dock, and I said, "Bitch, you better move. I ain't trying to fight you." And he flew at me. He flew right at me. Luckily, I ducked and ran in a circle to evade him. So he didn't get me, but he ended up on the awning of another boat, and he wasn't too happy when I came back around either. Um, that's the first time I ever got attacked by a goose.
I was attacked by a goose during the night shift at our old job.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't attacked by a goose doing that, but I was laughed at by the geese for waddling down the docks. Um,
No,
but what happened? What happened? Like, did they fly at you too?
no, he just started going after my legs and shit like that. So I just grabbed him and I hucked him away. And he was like screaming at me with like his little duck claws and shit like that. And I just grabbed him and I hucked him away.
Oh yeah, I was ready to punch Grumpy in the fucking throat. I'm gonna start patrolling the dock with a lightsaber and shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my Kylo Ren lightsaber out there. I got that cross guard to protect me and everything. My Jesus cross guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wonder if what I did was a crime. And I just admitted to it live on our podcast. I was like,
Um, Probably not. I mean, the goose attacked you. I think at that point it's self defense, right?
you know.
So yeah, geese are the only animal at that marina that ever attacked me. Well, it didn't attack me, but it chased me. Was a skunk, because there was a skunk, and like I was like, oh, cute, a skunk. So I wanted to take a picture of it, but I didn't know I had the flash on my camera, and it chased me, and I ran, and there were people watching. So yeah, that was. I seem to get attacked by a lot of random animals, and I don't know if it's just because they're attracted to my perfect personality or something, but they just wanna come at me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, There is, I'm sure, news. Well, I know there's news. But let's see if we want to talk about any of it. There's actually some news that broke today that apparently Lucasfilm has what the fuck has told people they can't bring Mara Jade into the new canon, which is interesting, I suppose. And you wonder if that's because they want to do something with Mara Jade or because they don't like the idea that Luke was, engaged in a relationship with her. But that's interesting.
Yep.
Let me see what they say in the article. So it says Lucasfilm keeps telling Star Wars prose writers, including creator Timothy Zahn, no to reviving Mara Jade. Timothy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy is one of the most beloved pieces of Star Wars media, but there's one piece of lore from those books that Lucasfilm seems to want to avoid, or is seemingly resistant to revisit. Mara Jade, blah blah blah. Disney bought Lucasfilm. Yep. So Star Wars Bloodline author Claudia Gray revealed during the writing the Star Wars Universe panel at MegaCon 2026. She said, a couple of times I was like, really? No Mara Jade? And they were like, in a stern voice, nope. She said, I asked them to. Mara Jade creator Timothy Zahn added, and similarly he was told no. So apparently they don't want people writing about Mara Jade, and who knows why. I'd like to see Mara Jade. Would you like to see Mara Jade?
I don't really know enough about her, to be honest with you. Like, I know she's like Luke's like love interest, right, or something like that in the books, right, or something like she's kind of like
she was like an assassin or like the right hand man, quote
the
unquote,
emperor,
of the emperor.
Of the emperor. Yeah.
But like a secret, like she's like kind of being haunted by his spirit, and like so she makes it like a personal vendetta. Her goal is to kill Luke Skywalker, and then they end up falling in love. But
damn, it'll happen to you.
Yeah. So who knows? It could be interesting. There's some news about the script being written for Disney's Marvel's X-Men whenever that comes out. We've also seen both Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage, and Finn, whatever his name is, guy who plays Danny Rand, Iron Fist. They were on set for the filming of Daredevil season 3. So a lot of people think the Defenders are coming back. And Maul has already been renewed for a season 2. So there's also that. That's about it, I think. So, but yeah.
Sure, Maul's gonna be great. Like, I'm looking at stills of it, and God, it just again can't believe how far we've come. If you go back and watch that early Clone Wars stuff, that graphics engine is so rough, man. And it's like what they're working with, and now this is like night and day difference.
Yeah,
it's still the same.
So many of the
graphic
shots,
style.
So many of the shots feel live action. Like it's a really beautifully created piece of work.
I haven't watched it yet, so I'm definitely gonna watch it tonight though, because I want to watch it. Like Daredevil, it's kind of meh. Like I'm gonna watch it but I don't know. I'd rather honestly I'd rather see something new than them just come back and bring the Netflix Daredevil back from the dead. Now that I'm thinking about it more, they could have gone in their own direction and done something, but
well, they were going to, but fans didn't like that, so they redid it all.
Oh well. And I guess I'm against the fans on this one because sometimes you gotta let things. I don't know. It's not Netflix anymore, so it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
Like if the violence feels Disney, it doesn't even like there used to be like torture and stuff like that in the original Daredevil. Like it was like more intense, like the blood splatter and the exhaustion and everything like that. Like I don't know. It just feels.
I feel like that's true for season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. Like I feel like that one was a little bit more Disney-fied, but I think season 2 is like really leaned more into the Netflix kind of formula, and I think it is much more violent and much more true to what the Netflix series was than season 1 is.
Yeah, we can hop right into it if you want to and review
Yeah.
the new episode.
Yeah. So what? How many? You watched all the way through episode 4?
No, I watched episode 2.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Well, episode 4 is really good. So you'll see more of what I'm talking about in that episode.
I'll catch up.
But we can talk about episode 2. Um. Holy shit. Sorry. So yeah, episode 2. We start with Bullseye, right? Bullseye is like kind of looking in the church for. Is he looking for Daredevil's mom? I'm pretty sure he's looking for Daredevil's mom. But yeah, if Wilson Fisk knows that Bullseye is like helping Daredevil, but not really. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in this episode, to be honest. Do you have any favorite moments? Anything?
A lot of scene jumps.
Yeah, a lot of them. Anything
For
specific?
me, it's this whole boxing thing with Fisk. Like, what the fuck is going on there? He's gonna do a boxing match or something like that. Like, I totally lost track of that storyline.
Yeah, they didn't really explain it very well. Like, he's like training for this boxing match in this episode. They explain it more in like future episodes. But like in this episode, you don't really understand. Like, you're like, oh, well, he's just gonna box somebody, and it's like a charity thing or whatever. So that's like, it's a weird part of this episode to like, just kind of like have in there when like moving forward it's explained more, but not really in this episode. This episode's more like the task force just being the worst and just like arresting citizens. Wilson Fisk choosing not to expose Matt Murdock as Daredevil, but instead to praise Matt Murdock as a hero, so that everybody's looking for him to bring him back, while also having everybody looking for Daredevil. And you also have good old Cherry, the cop, being protected by the cops at the hospital because the task force is still trying to get him. Bullseye just fucking killing task force members all the fucking time. Wilson Fisk finds out about this online satire of him, and he wants Daniel, his AG. Is it his AG? Attorney Governor? I don't know what the fuck he is. Attorney General? It's not an Attorney General. Deputy Mayor. Yeah, that guy. He wants him to kind of, find out who it is, and it's obviously fucking BB. And this is all more also about Wilson Fisk trying to like expand his reach, claim a larger empire. The task force is just out there arresting everybody for existing. Angela, who's like the white tiger girl, she shows up at the law firm to ask Kristen for help because the fucking task force took her aunt. And Vanessa's really paranoid about fucking Wilson, about fucking what's his face, Dex, Bullseye, and the task force raids Josie, and Daredevil kicks everyone's ass, and yeah, that's all stuff that happens in episode 2. The most important thing about Daredevil season 2 so far is his costume is so fucking cool.
Yeah,
like. It's the best Daredevil costume we've ever got, and it's probably a top 10 superhero costume in all of the MCU.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
It shoots great. It looks great in stills. It looks great in pictures. And Charlie, whatever his fucking name is.
Charlie Cox.
Yeah, looks great in it. So, very nice. Big fan. Hopefully one day we get the red one, but the black one, his little stealth mode, it looks fucking sick. Like, the armor looks sick, the helmet looks better, everything looks great. Love it.
Yep. No, it's a fantastic outfit, and it's cool how it covers his masks and everything like that, and it always looks great in all these shots. Can I ask you? There's one scene that happened in episode 2 that I want to ask you about specifically.
Sure.
It's when that guy Killshot or whatever his name is, the guy who's really good at sniping people, right?
Bullseye. Yeah.
Bullseye. He sees those people. He sees those. He sees the Wilson's Fisk's wife and like someone else like sitting at dinner. Why didn't he just like kill her there, like with some like crazy knife throw from like 500 yards away?
Um. Well, without spoiling anything, I don't think she's his target.
Oh,
Um. But that's all I can really say. Um.
okay.
But like the thing is, Bullseye's just out here killing task force members indiscriminately, right? And like why would he hesitate to just kill anybody? Is the real question. Like he's actually a fucking psychopath, which is understandable. But yeah, there's probably a narrative reason, but there's not a good convincing reason he doesn't just like shoot everybody that he sees, right? So, I think. What do I think? What do you think about the portrayal of the task force in Daredevil?
I think it's like just some brutal foot soldier kind of stuff, with the radios going off, with the constant chatter, and the sound of the boots and everything like that, the body armor.
Do you think
You know,
the comparisons people make to Ice are apt?
I think you could compare it. You could compare it to any special task force, like that's been made up by the government or like this some sheriff's department just put together or something like that. Like sure, but you can also compare it to other things that are like because police officers like officers regularly form like inside their own departments, they form their own special task forces and stuff like that for dealing with certain things. There's
Sure.
things about like the drugs task force and like this task force, but there's also like, oh, we're a bunch of tough badasses task force, like which has happened before. We've heard about that stuff happening.
And do you think those task force typically like violate people's rights?
Yeah, usually like it just depends. Like it's like one of them like task force is like, okay, everyone's in this task force because it's like a Bible study group because everyone's like Christian, so there's that, and there's like task. I don't know. I just think that yeah, most of the time it just depends on who's doing what.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where like the writers probably know what they're doing,
Yeah,
right? Especially having them like break into like a store and just arrest a bunch of brown people. But at the same time, I think you and I come from a very similar school of thought, and which is the Tolkien school of thought that it's not allegory as much as it is applicability. Like it could be, a metaphor about ICE raids in the United States, but it could be a metaphor about any number of other task forces and the raids that they perform in the United States or other places as well, right? And so that broadens it up and makes it a lot more interesting than saying, well, this is simply a representation of ICE in the United States, because that just makes something very boring, and it doesn't give you the ability as the viewer to disconnect and just enjoy something for what it is without being reminded of all the other terrible shit happening in the world, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I've actually really been enjoying this season of Daredevil. My dog is hitting my Windows key. But are you kind
Cameras
of over
figured.
it? Do you feel like the whole Kingpin thing is overplayed? Do you wish they would have gone in a different direction? Do you wish it would be its own new standalone kind of thing and not just an extension of the Netflix series? Like, where are you with all that?
I definitely think that I guess yeah, maybe it's just all just overplayed. Maybe it's stuff they've already done in the past and I've seen them do it before and I'm kind of tired of it. Like I want to watch them all. Like I don't really care that much, about Daredevil. Like that's the thing, I guess, about the irrelevancy of all the Disney Plus Marvel shows. Is
Mm-hmm.
like I don't really feel like I need the compulsive need to watch it. Other than to do this podcast, and I'm already failing at that because you've watched episode 4 and I only watched episode 1 and 2. But I only had time for one episode
Yeah.
tonight when I got home, so it would have made a difference anyway. Um, so you know, maybe it'll change if I watch more episodes. Like it changed with Echo. Like I started liking Echo towards the end, the
Yeah.
more I watched it. Um,
I think it does get better. I mean, there's a couple like lags early on with like the first couple episodes where you kind of lose a little bit interest, but it does pick up, and I think it gets a lot better, especially by episode 4. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if you change your mind.
yep.
All right. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else really to say about the episode, because it's really just a bridge to other episodes. Um, so what else? What else is going on? What is there anything in nerd world? Any video game stuff happening? Anything in general that you've been interested in or been wanting to talk about?
I've been playing World of Warcraft a lot recently. Which is like for me, I guess from I've been playing World of Warcraft my whole life. I started playing in the Burning Crusade when it originally came out, but I was like 10 or 11 years old, so I didn't really have the faculties. Well, I guess other people did at the time, but when I was a kid, I was extra dumb. So I didn't
Hmm.
have the faculties to really play the game very well, because the problem is that I would always make a character. I would get to like level 28 and go like, I hate this character. I want to play something different, and then I delete the character that I was working on, and get started again on a new character, and I did that a lot, and that really impacted my ability to play the game all through Burning Crusade and Wrath. I didn't really get to max level until Cataclysm. Cataclysm, I got to max level. I did some very light raiding. Some light. I mostly stuck to heroic dungeons at the time. I can't remember if Cataclysm was when they came out with mythic dungeons or not. But I stuck to heroic at the time. It was really fun. Um, and now I'm playing. Now I'm playing it again because it was a hugely defining part of my childhood. So I want it to be part of my gaming rotation. I got 3 games in my gaming rotation right now. I've got Star Wars Galaxy Legends, which is Star Wars Galaxies. Maybe we should do. I wish we could do a whole episode on Star Wars Galaxies about
Hmm.
how good of a game it is. But I know it's sometimes the finer points of gaming are like like it just how you need to experience the game, and I just don't know if it's a game you want to enjoy because you think it might be boring. Especially because it's driven by the player economy. I always wondered, do you find that kind of stuff fascinating? But I guess if you just want to shoot and blow stuff up,
Oh, I'm just
like
bad
you have
at
to.
games. Like I don't put
Well,
time into a lot of things, so
you might be good at this game though because it's like driven by the player economy. Like you can
maybe.
play a crafter and you can do all this stuff and you can start your own online business essentially like a video game business and put up stuff for sale and participate in the in-game economy and end up being one of the richest players on the server because you found like a good niche and then you started selling consistently and then after 2 years like you have 2 billion credits and you're just loaded beyond belief. um,
Could be. Could
um
be.
I really enjoy every aspect of Star Wars Galaxies. Space, I do space a lot. I do ground a lot. I do ground in space PvP and PvE. I don't do crafting. That's one thing I haven't done yet, but I'm going to touch it eventually. I'm just waiting for the right time to jump into crafting because resources are expensive. Um, and then I'm playing Dune Awakening,
Oh, nice.
uh, which is it's a cool Dune game. I role play in that game. I don't know if you know. Do you know what RP is? Have you ever
Yeah,
heard of that?
I
Are
know
you
what it
familiar
is.
with that
Yep.
concept? Yeah. I do RP in that game with my friends
But
that I've met.
not ERP.
No, we don't ERP. It's Dune though, so it could happen. Because I don't know if you read Dune, but there's a lot of sex in that book. So there's a lot of it has to do with sex. Like it's just a part. It's part of the books. Um,
Yep.
so it could happen. You never know. Uh, and then I play. Now I'm playing World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Like those are my 3 games that I play. Those are the 3 games that I play. Um, and I'm playing getting one of the World of Warcraft to the rotation for a long time because it's like such an important part of my gaming like history. It's when I was a kid, like literally like all I was doing was playing World of Warcraft. Like I would come home and I would play WoW, and that's all I would do. Like I would just go on. And this is back before the game's really over-engineered now. I think is a good way to put it. Like people have broken down the game into a science, like how you're supposed to play the game. Back in the day, you
Yeah.
could be like bad at the game, and people would still like want to hang out with you and still do shit with you because you're just like another warm body, right?
Yep.
Because like the game in one point of its time had 40-man raids. So it was pretty badass.
Yeah.
Um and So I would just meet new people and hang out, and I would RP and WoW. I RP and WoW too. You know, because I love the lore of the World of Warcraft. Even though every expansion, the lore has been absolutely garbo. It's including this expansion where it's just. I guess I'm just a hater. I don't know. I'm gonna
What
ask my guildies.
what about the Lich King stuff? Is that not?
Lich King gone, man. He's dead. This is like fucking 10 expansions ago. Damn, dude. We're on the fucking. We've died and come back to life now. Like, you know.
All right. Well, was that bad? I mean, when it came out,
uh,
was it bad?
uh this current expansion is like got the lore. The game is good. The lore is just garbo. Like,
Okay. So are you playing an
uh,
expansion or are you playing classic WoW?
I'm playing expansion. I'm playing
Okay.
retail. I'm doing enough living in the past on Star Wars Galaxies, so I figured
Gotcha.
that I would.
Well, they
I
re-released,
would.
right? They released something called Classic WoW, which was like
Yeah.
a
Yeah, it's
redo
a
or something.
re-release of the
Yeah.
game as it was back in the day.
Yeah.
It was, yep, classic.
Uh,
Classic WoW.
yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. Do you make a lot of friends on games like that?
I do. Yeah.
That's nice.
I'm part of like all online societies and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. I made a new friend recently, but I don't think it's going too well.
Oh,
I'm not really good at making friends.
was it the goose?
No, it wasn't the goose. It's someone I work with, and it's like I don't know. Like I think I'm usually really good at like creating boundaries with people, and I feel like I'm not good at creating boundaries here, like anymore. So it's like a very awkward situation. I like I feel like I need to learn how to be friends with people and learn how to like water my plants and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But really, I like I don't know. It's like it's easy to have boundaries when like you have normal conversations and like there's nothing there, but then like these conversations don't feel normal to me. Maybe they're normal to this person, but they're not like super normal to me. So I feel like those kinds of conversations create deeper like connections or attachments. And I just got Yoda in the back of my head saying, don't get attached to things. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Yeah, and don't get attached to things. um, it's also good to make friends. You know, that's we're human beings, we're social creatures. Like, you know.
yeah, it's good. It's important, and it's good to know how to keep things friendly without overstepping, without joking about the wrong things, without um, you know. I think it's like when you get to know people, sometimes people get you, and it makes it really easy to kind of like connect on a deeper level. But like sometimes I don't want to connect that deeply with people. I want to be friends, but baby steps to become friends and like learn how to be friends,
Yeah.
because things can get too much too quickly for both people. For me, it's like I just don't. I just am not familiar with navigating these spaces very much, and so sometimes I think I overstep, and sometimes I think they way overstep, and so I'm just like, okay, But I'm trying my best to be friendly. And tomorrow I'm going to a concert by myself.
Damn. Who you seeing?
Currents and Era. They're like metalcore bands. They're really popular from the last like 5-10 years. They've kind of got real popular, so they're cool. They're cool bands. I'm excited to see them. I'd be more excited if I wasn't alone and might get annihilated by a mosh pit, because I saw a mosh pit from the venue I'm going to, and those motherfuckers get really big, and there's really no place to hide, and I don't want to get murdered and assaulted. So
Yeah. Mosh pits at metalcore shows are really intense.
yeah,
Yeah, motherfuckers swinging their arms and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
It's not
talking
like
to.
thrash metal pits where everyone's just like drinking beer and running in circles and having a good time and like
Oh
just enjoying
yeah,
life. I love like a good circle pit, but the hardcore pits are like, you know, hard too hardcore.
yeah. I was talking to my new friend,
Mm.
and they were like, "You don't seem like the kind of person like people would mess with." I'm like, "It has nothing to do with that. These are just drunk people like swinging and shit." You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck.
It's
Like
a mosh pit.
they might actually assault me. I have a very
Absolutely.
punchable face. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's a
So
mosh pit.
yeah.
You when you consent by being inside the mosh pit, you know.
Well, I mean, the more they expand it, it doesn't matter if you consent or not. Like you're getting in it if it gets too big. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna find a corner and chill there and
Fucking pin up, boy! Participate in the wall of death, Christian. I mean, Cage. Come on, man.
no, I'm not gonna participate in the wall of death. Um, I just want to enjoy the music and the ambiance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to die. Um, so I'm not trying to get anybody else killed either, which is probably why I'm going alone. But the
Yeah,
real
and
reason is because I don't have
unfortunately,
friends.
well, no, it's not even that. Like, just metalcore and stuff like that. It's a really specific genre. So, like, it's hard to like who the fuck like are you gonna ask like your coworkers you want to go with you like go see this metalcore show like what they listen to like are you gonna ask the Phoenix Rising or whatever her name is to go with you to go see a
No,
metalcore show?
you know what's funny? As like I was talking to some coworkers, and like
Mhm.
one of them was like, they're like, oh, like we're friends, and I'm like, not really. Like we don't hang out outside of here. Like you don't go to concerts with me and stuff. And they're like, well, I would, but you don't ask. And I'm like, okay, well, have you heard of any of these bands? They're like, no. I'm like, yeah, exactly. You would not
Yeah.
fucking go.
Yeah, like people, if you don't like metal, you really don't like metal. Like that's like the thing about metal shows is like you gotta actually like heavy metal music, and if you hate metal, like you're not gonna want to go to a heavy metal show. You'll just have the worst time.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. I know if I bought a ticket, my wife would go with me, but she's just gonna disassociate while she's there. Like she's not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
So like maybe she would, but like I'm not gonna make her go to a place that like she's only going because of me, right? Like I want her to also want to enjoy it. So
Yeah.
I just bought one ticket. Like usually I'll buy two tickets, but I never have anyone to go with, and so I just end up wasting money. So like for this one, I purposely only bought one ticket, and yeah, I mean I'm just gonna go by myself because I'm used to going to concerts by myself at this point, and I didn't want to have to try to find somebody and then be upset when I had no friends to go with. I'll be upset anyway and just feel lonely, but it's okay. It's okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it happens. That's life. But it's good to like do things on your own and be comfortable doing things on your own and be your own person sometimes. So
Yep.
yeah. All right. Well, I don't think we have anything else to talk about today. I think we
Well, there's the race to world first, was really cool. I don't know. You don't know what that is though, do you? So in
no.
World of Warcraft, you do these things called raids, right?
Uh huh.
And
Yep. Raids.
these raids have bosses. And these bosses, like there's three difficulty levels. There's four difficulties levels. There's raid finder. There's there's normal. There's heroic, and there's mythic, right? And mythic is the hardest difficulty of all of them. And there's this group of people that started this race to basically kill the boss first in the world of Warcraft. Be the first person to kill the end mythic boss of the tier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you they rate and it's just fun to watch because it's like competitive. World of Warcraft played at a competitive level for like 20 days straight because these guys are these bosses sometimes will take 2 or 3 days to kill, because they're so difficult at mythic level.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
so
just
people
really,
people are doing that.
well, no, they just finished doing
Oh,
that.
so it happened already.
Yeah, it happened already.
Well, okay. And isn't this the thing? Like, don't people do this with everything? Like when there's like a new COD zombies and stuff, everybody's like trying to like do it first or whatever, and then like break like world records and all this shit.
Yeah, world firsting in video games is like a common thing to do, speedrun it and stuff like that. And these guys, how they play World of Warcraft is they have like 20 of the same character, right? Normally in World of Warcraft you have like one or five characters, but these guys have like 20. These guys have like 20 of the same character, not even different classes. And what they do is they do these things called splits where they run like the same dungeon or raid and they log in and they do it again and they log in and they do it again. And whatever character is the best gear they get, that's the one they use for the main raid. and they have it down to like a spreadsheet on math and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
classic, of course.
Yeah.
Classic WoW players. Well, that's cool. That is cool. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't really have anything else to talk about, to be honest. I said things I didn't even plan to say, you know.
Oh,
So
well, that's how the English language works sometimes, you know.
that is how it works sometimes. Well, I think we'll wrap up there. We'll talk about Maul hopefully next week, because you know Darth Maul's cool as fuck.
Yep.
And we'll
We will talk about Maul. We will talk about Maul.
yeah,
Don't worry about that one.
yeah. So awesome. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Share your thoughts, rate, comment, review, subscribe, click all the buttons, do all the things, and we'll see you next week. Bye.